Hi, I'm Dave Stevens. Welcome back to Press Box. Great show so far. Josh just got done with Jeremy Roenick. What a great way to start the show. But now I'm going to bring in an old baseball buddy of mine, somebody that I've known for a while, a former Major League Baseball player, and of course, long career in major leagues. Also, one of the taller players that ever played in baseball. And he makes his home in Michigan and up in Charlevoix. What do we got up there?
Charlevoix, and I'm actually now in Detroit right now, back home.
You're in Detroit. Wow. I can never pronounce that name. But Dennis, so glad you could join us to talk a little baseball. Dennis, of course, was a major league pitcher, pitched for the Yankees and the Padres and the Reds. And you don't get to do that unless you can actually pitch in the major leagues. So thanks for joining us for a little bit today, bud. And, how is life? How's the family? What's going on in Michigan?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Obviously, you can see we're Red Wings fans. But yeah, it's all good. And I'm down here temporarily. Renee's up at slinging ice cream and flipping burgers up at the restaurant that you've been at. And other than that, everything is good.
Well, it's so awesome to have you here. And for those who don't know, you have played with and next to a lot of great guys in baseball. And I want to bring in, we're talking about the Padres suddenly, one of the teams you really had some success with in those guys. And this year, they've got some exciting players. But you had that opportunity back in the day to play alongside one of the greats, Tony Gwynn. That was such an amazing smile. Without a doubt, one of the greatest hitters of all time. And we lost him way too soon. But your paths crossed, you were teammates. I mean, what was it like to be a teammate of Tony Gwynn's?
He what an amazing individual and obviously an incredible player. But when I first got traded over there from the Yankees as a player named later for Tommy John in 1983, joined him the last 2 weeks of the big league season. Then we all went together, Tony, Kevin McReynolds. There was like 6 of us that went to Puerto Rico together and went to play winter ball. So I got to know him pretty good there. So our career started back in '83 during winter ball. So, but he was just a student of the game and never stopped trying to improve. And we learned a lot from him from the hitting side because he would help us pitchers kind of know what the other hitters were doing at the plate and how we could best get them out.
And Dennis, now we've got another guy that kind of looks a little bit and reminds folks, I think, of the way he hits, and that's Fernando Tatis Jr., who has really been crushing the ball early in this season. We thought he had an injury and wasn't going to get to play, but do you see a little similarities in their hitting approach?
A little bit. Obviously, he hits for more power, but surprisingly, Tony could hit for power as well if he wanted to. And or when he needed to. It was he was just that good. And but it's fun to see the Padres be back in the forefront and competing with the Dodgers. Boy, it's been great to see that rivalry start back up again, and it's just exciting for baseball. But he's a great player, and it's just, I hope he has a long career and like Tony did.
And you've done so much since your career for your own town and for other areas around the country with the baseball clinics that I've had the honor to work with you in, and the golf tournaments that you come and appear at for Dave Bowen and us down in Florida. Why do you continue to give back? Why do you continue to do so much when you really could just sling ice cream and do your thing?
It's really all about the relationships. And, I was fortunate to play, play and coach parts of 20 years in professional baseball. And it's just, it's something that you always did. And I like to support the guys who are doing great work, both on and off the field. And they come and support me as well up in Charlevoix doing our Legends for Youth clinic like you did. So it's a reciprocal arrangement, and I enjoy being a part of all these different events, and then all the stories, as you know, that happen that you get to hear when we all get together is definitely enlightening.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some great times, and COVID has really has hurt us as far as the fun we get to see with Larry, and we don't get together. Although you guys travel, you guys get to continue to go cross country. I'm talking about Dennis's buddy Larry Kalura, who was a catcher in the Yankees organization, and I mean, what has this been? These struggles been like for you and your family with as much as you are an ambassador, you not getting to do the things you would do.
Yeah, we've tried to. Larry's met me out for his vacation. He's an executive in an insurance company, so I think he spends all his vacation time with me. We've rented an RV, went and seen some former teammates, and done some other events as much as we could, especially during COVID, so we could control all that in the RV. But that was an awful lot of fun, and who knows, we might make another trip, but. He's a lot of fun to be around, and never, as you know, and keeps me laughing. That's for sure.
Dennis Rasmussen joining us on the press box. A lot of show left, but I want to get into a couple of things because Ras, you could rake a little bit back in your day. I know you could hit. You had to hit, obviously, when you played in the National League. But I want to get your thoughts on what we finally have seen from Shohei Ohtani, being able to hit in the lineup on the off days he's not pitching, but also to come out and throw consistently on the mound. And again, it's one of those things where I know you as a batter, you didn't want to have to do that all the time, but you had to learn it. But I'm just wondering, the fascination with this experiment, it finally seems to be working. Are we going to see copycats, or is this a one-time thing?
He's an exceptional player, and to do what he's doing at the level he's doing it, and both pitching and hitting is just amazing. So I tip my hat to him, and it's just great for the game, and it's fun to watch. And obviously that's why people come to the games, is to watch him play. You don't want to go to the concession stand and miss his at bat. He's one of those guys, and let alone now you can't hardly leave and go to the bathroom or anything and leave your seat because he's pitching and hitting at the same time. So it is a lot of fun. I enjoyed growing up. I always loved hitting and playing both sides of the game. I'm definitely proud of my 50 major league hits. That is for sure. But I took a lot of pride in my hitting, and was fortunate to play in the National League with Cincinnati, and mostly with San Diego, and be able to swing the bat and help my own cause.
Yeah, well, I was looking at stuff. In fact, I had some grainy footage of you and just lumbering around the bases on like a bases clear. Like I'm watching you flying around the bases. I'm just thinking, wow, could he even get to first base these days? And, me and you like 40 seconds each. I don't know. But you know what it takes as far as the pitching conditioning for your body. So what is the taxing toll when you've got to get in the cage too and use the other arms? Like that's what, he's gone through some problems with this. Like, can he keep up at this high level?
God, I sure hope so. Nobody's done it before, so it remains to be seen. But, probably the biggest thing is there's no downtime. He's, other than when he's not hitting, but he's still watching the game and watching the pitchers because he's got to go out and face them as a hitter. And then, when you're on the mound, you're working hard and focusing. So the mental part of the game is really impressive to me, maybe even more than the physical part, because obviously he can do that, and but the mental part, because you never can turn it off. You got to be able to go back out there and watch what's going on during the game, and there's no break.
And I know you love baseball. You're always at a game and traveling around, but are we seeing the better quality of baseball this year because of what we had to go through for that small 60-game season? We saw minor leaguers making debuts in the postseason. Are we back to normal baseball now?
Well, I'd like to think we are. We're slowly getting there. Our state of Michigan is opening back up even a little bit more this past week. So, I just hope it just keeps going. And I know the fans are excited to be back at the ballpark. I went to one game at Comerica. I watched the Tigers play, and it was there was a lot of excitement there. It was limited seating, but hopefully as it opens more and more up, there's nothing better and motivating as a player to have fans in the seats and cheering your team on, both good and bad. My Yankee days and going into Fenway and playing against the Red Sox was still just as exciting, even though you're a visiting player. But it keeps your adrenaline up, and I can't even imagine playing last year with no fans in the stands. Because you feed off that, and it had to be a difficult season.
Dennis Rasmussen, former Major League Baseball pitcher, joining us on Disability Channel Press Box. And Dennis, as we wrap up, not putting you on the spot, and I'm not looking for compliments or accolades, but getting to know me and my disability. I've heard you talk about it, and it really means a lot to me. But did it help change your perspective and the perception of what those that are labeled handicapped and disabled? And again, I'm not looking for your compliments. I'm just looking for the impact that something like that can have on a life.
Well, we met, years ago, in the amputee golf tournament through a mutual friend, and I had been participating in that, and through that I've met so many other great people, and each and every one are an inspiration, because I have all my limbs and faculties. For the most part, it's debatable, but it's, and I'm able to go out there and do that, but it's not limiting. Watching some of these kids and adults go out there and play golf and play sports and do the things that the physically able can still do. But it's just an inspiration to watch everybody that has any kind of challenge to go out there and do something that we a lot of times take for granted. And but it's definitely inspiring and heartwarming to see all the different, especially at the younger ages, and that where kids didn't think they could do something and said, well, why not? Why can't you go out there and do that? Look at who's doing it and paving the way. So kudos on everything you're doing, and bringing to light what's possible, because anything is possible.
And I mean, you were on the same field, with Jim Abbott. I mean, you got to witness firsthand some of the miracles that can happen when people just go out and just try to do their own thing. And as you know, this is my normal. We all have struggles. As we get older, we all kind of get things that kind of make us all part of that disabled family when you can't walk or you need hip replacement surgery or something like that. So thank you. Your friendship means a lot. And before I let you go, I got to ask you one more question. When we just talked to Jeremy Roenick, put him on the spot. But for you, I don't care if it's little league, college, major leagues, we're having a beer. What is that greatest moment of your life, your personal achievement? What when you look back, that you're just like, that was the day. That was the day in my career.
Well, it brings me back, having doing this interview and joining you. I was in a bicycle car accident when I was a kid, at 15, where I almost lost my left ankle. And since, after my career was over, I had it fused. But there was a time where, a turning point where the orthopedic doctor that said, well, we can always amputate. Let's put it back together and see what happens. I think that was the turning point that, for me, anything was possible as I look back on it. And I never used that as a handicap. Yeah, I just dealt with it, and all the trainers, everybody knew that I had to do my conditioning on a bike, and it's kind of a story that a lot of people don't know. And I'm very proud of the fact that I got to the level that I did and persevered. Was it all that easy and physically easy? No, but nothing in life is. Nothing worth doing and achieving is easy. there's always some bumps along the way. So, that's probably my biggest, proudest moment. There's a lot of things that in the game that I'm proud of, and longevity being one. But that's probably the biggest point and turning point that I'll never forget. That orthopedic doctor on call on that Labor Day of 1973 that told my parents that this is what's possible, and it's basically up to me. And that was the turning point, and I took it and ran with it, literally.
Well, thank you, my friend, and I'm so glad that what an impactful story. It's like you never know what you're going to find out when you and I talk. So, brother, it's so glad. Oh, hey, congratulations. So tell us, update us about this exciting new part of your life, and what can we do to follow you and share and maybe get you some work?
Yeah, well, I'm at a part where I'm going to be a pitching coach in the Appalachian League. It has not been announced yet officially, so I won't tell the team, but I am getting back into baseball, and it is, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to, this next chapter with Renee's blessing to get back and share some of my experiences with these young college kids, non-draft eligible college players in the new Major League Baseball, USA Baseball partnership. So, more to be said at a later time, but it's an exciting time. Unfortunately, with all the contraction and things going on with minor league baseball having been taken over by Major League Baseball, there's still a lot of teams in transition, but the new Appy League should be exciting to watch, and with these up and coming players that they think are going to play in the big league someday.
All right. Well, there he is. Look at that baby face. He's seen a lot of fun places and locations and a lot of great memories. Dennis Rasmussen, thanks for joining me, my friend. And I can't wait till we can get together in person, shake hands, have a beer, and maybe have a couple of Moscow mules.
There you go. Well, it's great to see you, and I love you, brother. And you take care and keep doing your good work.
All right. Thank you. Dennis Rasmussen joining us here on TDC Press Box. When we come back, we are going to have Jay Stoyan to talk a little Maple Leafs hockey. Josh is going to jump back in the seat, and we'll update you on this quest for the Stanley Cup in 2021. This is Dave Stevens. You're watching Press Box.